Hey there nation, welcome to the show. We help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander CheapSkate, and now it's time for another edition of Hobby Side Videos. This time on Hobby Side Videos, in anticipation for the new Necromunda board game that is coming out here next week in the month of November for 2017, we are doing a quick little Hobby Side video. This time we're doing an army showcase, and specifically we'll be doing a series of army showcases on the various miniatures that we use to represent the gangs of Necromunda and our Tales from the Underhive Battle Report. Now, we have 8 separate gangs. We're going to focus each video on 2 gangs for each video that we're doing. And because the very first starter set for the new Necromunda game is Eschers versus Goliaths, we decided it'd be kind of cool to start off with what our gaming group uses for our Eschers, which are represented by the Killjoys over here. On the left-hand side, these are lethal ladies in pink. And then over here on the right-hand side, we have the Pelago-Slam Kings, which are our House Goliath gang with the orange and the green. We're going to show you exactly what each of these miniatures kind of look like up close. We'll also talk a little bit about how we created them, because a lot of these miniatures are based on conversions, and we'll talk about exactly how we went about making those. We'll probably do 4 videos in all. Each video will feature 2 gangs. One video will feature 2 gangs, as well as our hired guns as well for our battle reports as well. So we'll go ahead and talk about those real quick. So let's see here. Let's start with the Killjoys. We'll start with this gang first, and we'll talk about exactly how these guys are created. Okay, the very first game that we're going to talk about in our series of Hobby Set videos are the Killjoys. This is our gaming group's Escher gang. As you can see, they have a very distinct paint style. When we painted up the members of the gangs, we decided to kind of go with gang colors to represent that each of the gangs of Necromunda would have like their own kind of unique look, as well as kind of like their unique color scheme to kind of go with them. In this case, for the Killjoys, my buddy Lady Domina, she decided she wanted to kind of go with like a pinkish color with pink as well as yellow, which is kind of funny because, you know, those are usually, you know, stereotypically associated with very feminine colors, but at the same time though, she thought that we kind of need having these ladies clad in yellow and pink who just kind of tear a new one to all the different gangs of Necromunda. And as you see in the various battle reports that we've done, these ladies have been very, very lethal. The problem is that when our gaming group and I decided to get into Necromunda, we originally got the original set back in the mid-90s, back when I was like in middle school. It was me and a couple of my buddies, we bought that system, and we used the House Orlok and House Goliath, and then House Caldor is what we used for our battle reports. Not for our battle reports, for our games we were playing when we were kids. It kind of went off the shelf and kind of collected dust for about 20 years, and it was just only very recently that we decided to kind of break into the game again and just start playing with it again, and start playing with some of the stuff that we had. And so the problem is, by that point, all the Necromunda miniatures had pretty much been sold out, and the only you can buy them was through eBay. So because of that, we had to kind of convert a lot of these miniatures ourselves, just using bits and pieces for various things. So we're going to focus on each one. These 2 here are our Jews for the gang, so those are the junior members of the gang. These 3 are the specialists and the heavies. This is the leader, and of course these 7 ladies are the gangers that we use for the gang as well. So let's go ahead and talk about exactly what we went in to create these characters. So we'll start with the leader first of all. The leader's a kind of a good one to go with. Alright, this is Furia. She's the leader of the Killjoys. And right off the bat, when we pick up this miniature, you can already kind of see what this miniature is made. For the most part, every single one of these Killjoys is based off of a Dark Elder Witch Elf, I think it's called a witch is what it's called, yeah. They're kind of like their version of the witch elves for 40K. They're kind of like gladiators, what they have. So, you know, they got like kind of like this Cirque du Soleil style costuming with the legs. And they also got like this kind of like leather looking type of like top part for their body armor as well. So you can see the torso, the legs, as well as the head are witches from the Dark Elder line. And then for the arms, we primarily use a combination of various Imperial Guard arms is what we did to create these ladies. Primarily Catachan, I believe is how you pronounce it. Imperial Guard, those are the jungle fighters, as well as Cadians as well. So you can see this for Lady Furia here, as you can see her here on her left arm. So that is a Cadian Imperial Guard arm with a bolt pistol. And this arm here, of course, as you can tell, is a Space Marine arm, but we thought it looked kind of cool because it's kind of clad up in armor. And then right in the back, of course, is just a spare Chaos Space Marine bolt gun that we attached to her back, and then that's how we went about creating this miniature. So very, very cool there. These 2 ladies are straight up witches from the Dark Eldar line. As you can see, I think they're called splinter pistols, I believe is what they're called, and like they're different daggers. So these 2 are exactly what they are from their lines as witch elves, is what we did for these guys. The only difference is, as you can see really close, we decided to clip some of the armor pieces off. So we decided to clip off any spikes, any spurs, any hooks and stuff like that that are usually on these miniatures to make them look more streamlined, like something you might actually wear when you're fighting in the pit. So these 2 are just straight up normally done like normal witches are. For the heavies, this one's the latest one that Lady Dominant added to her gang. As you can see, it's also a witch as well. Torso, legs, head, all from witches. But the arm, however, carrying the heavy stubber, that is from a neophyte hybrid heavy. That's the guy's arm with the stubber. Same thing with the backpack that she's wearing. That's from a stubber guy from the Neophyte box set. And I use that to kind of create this character up. These two ladies, the heavies over here, this is Yoko the Pyro, if I remember correctly. Same kind of concept. Torso, head, and legs are witch elves, but these arms are from a Cadian soldier, Imperial Guard, carrying a flamer. And that's what we have for that one. And then, of course, same thing with this one. Also Cadian as well. As you can see, this is the grenade launcher arm from the Cadian heavy right there. And then a same thing with the 7-neck arm with the power sword. And then right behind her, of course, she's got a last gun. That was kind of spared from that bob as well. And that's how we went about making those heavies over there. And then, of course, the gangers. I'm going to move these monitors out of the way. Gangers all made exactly the same way. Torso, legs, head, made from witch elves, but the arms are from Cadian soldiers. So this one, as you can see, this was a Cadian soldier with a last gun with bayonets. This character is actually a Cadian arm with a plasma gun. Another spare Chaos Space Marine chainsword arm with a Cadian last gun from the sprue in the back, of course. So that's why I made that one. This one here, same exact thing. Cadian command squad with a power fist and a chainsword, as well as a Chaos Space Marine bolt gun. Just a bunch of spare bits and bobs. Now this one was actually made using a Catachan Space Marine. So you see there's an arm of a Catachan Imperial Guard with the laser rifle, last gun with the sling wrapped around her arm. Same thing with just like the regular sword from the Cadian as well. This one makes it look really impressive, like she's super strong. And then we see this one here, another Cadian soldier with arms with the last gun with bayonets. This one's also Cadian as well, armed with the last pistol. Looks really cool, as well as a slung last rifle. So very, very cool. Looks like she's like running and shooting with her arm at the same time. And this very last one, which is Lady Dama's favorite piece, which is, I believe her name is Nocturna is her name. No, One Shot Blonde. That's right. That's the sniper One Shot Blonde. She's using the sniper sprue arms from the Cadians as well. I believe it's Cadians. It might be Catachan. I forgot which one it is. But yeah, you got a little stealth cloak and the scoped laser rifle. So yeah, that's pretty much how we went about creating the Killjoys that we use for House Escher in our Necromunda Battle Report. So just some simple kit bashing, and that's how we went about making that gang. Alright, so up next we're going to talk about House Goliath. Alright, up next we have the Pelago-Slam Kings. These are our House Goliath gang members that we use for our Necromunda Battle Reports. As you see, there's a nice big mob of them. My buddy Brother Grim uses these guys quite a bit. And as you can see from this video, just from this overview, we have a collection of both normal Goliath figurines, like this guy for example. We have a collection of normal plastic set Goliath figurines that originally came in with the original box of Necromunda, as well as some conversions that we put together ourselves from spare bits and bobs, as well as some miniatures from different lineups. So let's go ahead and talk about those real quick. So first of all, let's go and talk about the gangers in the back, as well as the leader. This is Blitzkrieg Bob. It's the leader of the Pelago-Slam Kings. Now, how we went about making these guys, we did some kit bashing. We bought a box of Chaos Marauders, as well as a box of Catachan Imperial Guard as well, and we used those box sets to kind of put them together, create our Pelago-Slam Kings for our Goliaths. So if you take a look at this guy real quick, as you can see, the legs that he has, those are from a Catachan Imperial Guardsman, because it looks like a cargo pants with boots. And then the torso is made from a Chaos Marauder. Same thing with the head. We like that helmeted head for like the leader. Same thing with this sword arm, came from the Chaos Marauder box set, as the cape. And then the right arm, this is the arm that holds the grenade launcher. That one was actually from Imperial Guardsman from the Catachan line. And so you can see there's like the little bandolier pouch on the left arm from Catachan Imperial Guardsman. So that's how we went about making this guy. So that's kind of cool. So put them in the back. Next, let's go and talk about these heavies real quick. This heavy, same kind of construction pretty much. Catachan legs, Chaos Marauder torso, as well as head in this case, and then we use the arms from a Catachan Imperial Guardsman. And this gun here is actually from a sprue of a plasma gun from an armored sentinel, I believe what it was. And we just kind of glued into place and make it look like this guy's lugging around a giant plasma cannon to blast his opponents. So that's how we made this heavy. Same thing with this heavy here. Same construction technique involved. Katachan legs, Marauder torso. These guys are Katachan arms for a flamer. Same thing with the little Rotello pack that's on the back of him back there as well. So that's what we got on like this guy. And then this guy here was a little bit more of a conversion kit. This is originally, if you look at the base model itself, it's actually an old school Goliath miniature from the original box of Necromunda. And this, of course, is a Chaos Space Marine heavy bolter that we just kind of glued into place and make it look like this guy is carrying this heavy bolter to shoot around. And that's why we made that guy. Back over here in the back rank, over here we have our Juves. Let's go talk about these guys real quick. Oops, sorry about that. Now this guy, alright, I'm under the impression that he's from an old miniatures war game called the Mutant Chronicles, I believe is what this guy was. Back when I was a kid, Hobbytown, USA, that was up in the town that I live at, they used to have like these little bits boxes where they had all these kind of random sci-fi fantasy pewter miniatures, and you can buy them for like about $50 a piece. Well, this guy was in one of those box sets. It was in one of those, it was just kind of like sitting there. I thought he looked really, really cool. He had this huge like elephant tusk type weapon and a pistol, and he looked all crazy and deranged. And so I bought him when I was a kid. I think it was like in middle school, and I purchased this guy and for $1.50, you know, which is a steal because, you know, I'm a cheapskate even back then. So I believe this guy is a special character from the Mutant Chronicles miniature war game, I believe. And so that's what I use this guy for that Juve, so he's really cool. This guy here is an original box set from Necromunda, Goliath gang member, arm with the auto pistol. Now this left arm, if you take a real close look to it, if you look at the design, as you can see there, this is actually a Stormcast Eternal arm. We just took a spare one that we had left over from one of our kits and just used that to create his arm to make it look like he's carrying a massive maul. And that's what we use for this guy, so very, very cool for him. And of course, this last guy, he is a combination of a couple of kits. First of all, the legs are from Katachan, same thing with the torso and the head and the arm. These guys are from Chaos Marauders, from the left arm carrying the dagger. And the right arm is actually a stub gun from the original set Necromunda from one of the miniatures as well. So that's where this guy came from. He's like 3 different kits put all together. Now then, let's go talk about these gang members back here. Now, this guy, as well as this guy, are exactly based on the same exact miniature. So you can see they look exactly the same. They're both carrying bolt guns. They're carrying, and that's what we use anyways. Originally, this guy looked like this. I bought 2 of these miniatures. I believe he's also from the Mutant Chronicles as well, I believe. This is just unadulterated, just a normal, just pewter model that I bought. It's kind of heavy. And I used this guy when I bought that guy with the tusk over there. I bought him too at the same time when I was a kid. And all I did for this guy to make him into him is I just took, as you can see here, if you look really close, all I really did is I just add a shoulder pad from a Chaos Marauder on his left shoulder there. I glued in the back of an Imperial Guardsman bit knife and canteen, and then I chopped off this miniature's head and put a Chaos Marauder head on there. And that's how I went about making him. So I got 2 different characters I use with some basic conversions there. This miniature here, just a straight old-fashioned Goliath miniature from the original box set. Just carrying auto gun. Nothing fancy about him. This guy was the same exact thing, original miniature as well, except the difference was, though, I chopped off this guy's hand and replaced it with a plasma gun, and I chopped off the knife that used to be carrying this guy. I've noticed this guy and this guy look very, very similar. That's because that guy's knife I took off and I replaced it with a maul, like a spiked mace head from a Black Orc. Asparagus of Black Orc was where that had. And I glued on a last gun in the back to make it look like he's, you know, carrying his gun on his back. This guy with the shotgun and the knife, he is an old school original House Goliath member from the box set, so very, very cool. And the cost toward these last 3 guys. These 3 guys are kit bashed together. Chaos Marauders, Katachan legs, Chaos Marauder torso, as well as the arm. So he has a Katachan bayonet on his left arm, Chaos Marauder axe, and a last gun on his back. I like this guy a lot because he looks like a warrior from Last of the Mohicans. You know, he's got his tomahawk and his knife, and he's got his gun in the back, so I thought it looked really, really cool. Originally, this guy's head looked like the guy over here with the purple top knot, but I just cut it off real quick to make it look like he was bald, so that's where I created that guy. This guy here as well, Katachan legs as well, with a Marauder body and a Marauder head. This left arm with the axe, that is a Marauder as well. And then, of course, a Katachan last gun on his, I believe that's his right arm. Yeah, so he's really cool. And this guy, of course, is kit bashed from 3 different kits. Katachan legs, Chaos Marauder torso, Katachan grenade arm, Marauder helmet. And this arm that he has, which is carrying the auto gun, is actually the same lineup as this miniature as well as the original Necromunda miniature. If you take a look here, you can see that the Lascar arms look exactly the same. That's because I just took a spare arm from one of these miniatures that look like that and put on that guy instead. So yeah, so you can see there, made a whole bunch of cool looking miniatures using bits and pieces from different kits to make my House Goliath guys. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one, you guys, for this showcase for our two gangs, both Eschers as well as Goliaths. As always, you guys, please feel free to comment, like, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is always invaluable, as always. Also, check us out on Google+, Instagram, as well as Facebook for all the latest and greatest what we're doing for hobby. That's going to do it for this Army Showcase, ladies and gentlemen. You guys stay classy. We'll see you guys in the next one, and we'll definitely see you when Necromunda rolls out. Peace out.